Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the After Hours Gaming League. My name is Day9, and we are going into the highlight match of the week. Facebook versus the Geek Squad, both of them in the top 3 of their division. And right now, it's all up to Yakaru from the Geek Squad to put a score for them on the map. Yakaru from Geek Squad spawning in the right position, up in the Northlands. His ally, Winkletoss, from before, allowing them to have one win on the map, is going to be Stark from Team Facebook. I'd like to give an extra special shout out to Red Bull Gaming that is helping support the After Hours Gaming League, helping to make it a little bit possible with all their wonderful support of equipment and, of course, energy. Yakaru now planting down that pylon in his main base, doesn't want to go for any sort of fancy wall off because his opponent is not Zerg. And despite all of Stark's best attempts, he cannot 6-pool. Stark is going to be beginning with that wall off at the front of his base. And given that the map is going to be Shattered Temple, I would expect there to be some sort of aggression early on from at least one of the players. And look at that! Look at the happy friendliness you as well from Yakaru, letting Stark know he just wants his opponent to have luck with all the appropriate punctuation. How long has it been since you saw punctuation used on the internet? Like, hello, how are you? Something like that. Looks like Yakaru, oh no, when autopilot descends onto the field, Yakaru scouting at a position where his opponent cannot spawn. Oh no. Oh, this is so brutal. He sees that no opponent is there, as expected. It looks like Stark is going to be doing a little scout around Aru, checking down on the south end before steering right. Now, Yakaru is going to see that one SCV, and he is going to go ahead and make the ring around the rosy, convinced his opponent is there. Great angle. Yakaru now going to go ahead and plant down that Cybernetics core and return right on back to the probe production. It's a fairly early cyber core on 17 food. Looks like he was actually chrono boosting the entire time, so that means that his gateway was quite early down as well. And the real question on everyone's mind is Stark going to go for the 1-1-1 or not? Uh-oh, I do see a gas geyser, and it looks like he is rapidly approaching enough gas for a factory. And oh, looks like the probe going to try to get up, but it can't because the pathfinding is so bad that he just shoves his face against the wall in anticipation. It looks like, oh, a tech lab going down. Oh, he's trying to fool him. Is he going to try to fool him, or is he just getting the latest tech lab of all time? Is this mind game, reverse mind game, triple mind game? It looks like this one Marine cannot get into the right position. Yakaru, I believe in you. He's going to work his way around the Marine. Will he escape? No way. No way, really? He got out of there. Yakaru doing his thing. It looks like Stark is pulling away from any sort of fast tech plan, going straight for the command center. In the meantime, Yakaru going for a 2-gas, 2-gate, 3-gate, with some chrono boost also being planted on his cybernetics core. You heard me say that aggression very popular on this map due to these wide open entrances. Yakaru looks like he does not want to go for some sort of 1-gate expand and run the risk of having some sort of awful force stream into his base early on. Goodness no, goodness no. We'll accept no such pain. Stark now transitioning into the very standard triple barracks early expand. Stark from Team Facebook, playing off a fairly standard opening after that fairly unstandard delay with the probe scout. I strongly think he wanted a 1-1-1. Looks like Yakaru going to be doing very typically timed 3-gate expand. Needs to plant down one more chrono on that cybernetics core if he wants it on time. Looks like he did start another round. Will often be canceling that. Very early stim from Stark is one advantage from that early geyser that he planted down. All his barracks are finishing up now, and he will soon have himself a healthy third command center en route. Robo going down, Yakaru playing unusually defensively, or he has some sort of hyper-aggressive fast Colossus play in mind, though we don't really see them so much in a lot of the GSLs. If you have played on the ladder at any time in the recent past, these 1-gate fast Colossus are coming back in style. There's now the tech lab and the reactor to accompany the very loud plane flying low over the house right now. Stark also going to be establishing control of that natural expansion. Stark is doing a little scout around Daru just to make sure that that probe that escaped with his life earlier on isn't there, but actually, where is that probe? Is he dead? No, we do know he's alive. We're holding down the Alt key to find the probe with 10 hit points, but he's nowhere to be found. He's in the center watchtower, a true warrior probe, ready to fight anything. Yakaru has not yet expanded. There's the expansion finally going down, in sync with that early robotics facility observer, so we can check up on what his opponent's doing. This is going to give the Terran player Stark from Team Facebook plenty of time to get that bunker up. He is going to be feeling safe and sound until Geek Squad goes to town. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever seen the original Ninja Turtles, the movie, not the series, the movie that came out where Shredder was actually just some guy who wore metal on his face. Like, he actually just kind of had a metal helmet, and other than that, wore a bright red leotard. There was that wonderful scene right at the opening of that movie. Do you remember it? Read it and weep! Full House! Do you remember this? Because I certainly do, and I'm going to use it later to say that Yakaru could be part of the Read It and Weep squad. I just want to let you know what that joke is long in advance, because in the heat of battle, I may very well not have enough time to establish the history of the joke. Well, that was less history and more a full etymology of it, but either way, you found it funny. Yakaru now building that immortal up. Looks like he is continuing to amass himself a very big force. Now, there's this weird thing that happens when you start accumulating a lot of immortals early on. They're very good in direct engagements right now. They're very good for defense, very good for offense, but if you sit around too long, that's when the troubles arise. Immortals take so many minerals, you're essentially saying, I can either tech or build immortals. I can't do both. For every immortal that pops out of this robotics facility, Yakaru is sacrificing tech. We see there's no Twilight Council, no Forge, no Robotics Bay, no tech whatsoever. Not a bad choice at all from Yakaru, as long as he either attacks or defends. A huge attack. But it looks like Stark had Spider Sense going a little bit crazy. He knows the expansion is done, and he is making the exact right choice. Just walling himself in Twilight Council, planting down right now more gateways en route. Another immortal. Ooh, Yakaru is declaring himself ready to do a gigantic engagement. Meanwhile, in Camp Stark, just Marines and Marauders. He does have the Stim and Combat Shield. Again, you don't want to get those too fast unless you want to attack or defend a really huge attack. Since neither of those is happening, we would ordinarily say Stark is in a tough spot, but we have seen double Immortals pop out. So right now, both players making very big, aggressive armies. It's a little tricky if either of them wants to do some sort of huge attack. Ooh, the scan. Did he kill anything off? Did he get it? He did get an observer. A unit is dead, a unit is down, a Uniden is also down in Day 9 Daily number 200. There's barracks number 4, and barracks number 5 could be cropping up. Ooh, a double starport. Did he misread? Oh, I believe he thinks his opponent is having Colossi come up soon. Wants to get a big edge by blindly getting 8 and 9 Vikings up, getting ready to 2 or 3 shot any one of those Colossi that step in. Yakaru getting ready to take down the Destructible Rocks for a gold base, and is getting the Zealot leg speed. We do see a nice set of double forges, nice wall off. I love this. Even though any sort of late game Blue Flame Hellion drop is highly unlikely, this will still shut it down cold. It also helps zone those Marine Marauder forces very well. Factory now doing a little bit of scout, but he's not nearly as tough as Mr. 10 HP Probe, holding it down on the center watchtower. Looks like Yakaru is continuing to just amass up Zealots, still getting those Immortals. Not going to end up being too bad at this point in time, as we do see a lot of those Marauders. Again, the huge concern was that Yakaru would struggle to get this tech up in time if he got too many Immortals. But right now, Stark, with his passivity, is allowing Yakaru to get back into the right position. Yakaru pushing back the ever so dastardly bastard factory. And now it looks like Stark getting ready to move out. Someone get these supply depots some Xanax because they looked pretty depressed a second ago. But they've managed to perk back up. My God, that joke lets you know that I am indeed related to my brother. Who wants a pun? Do you want a pun? I have 5,000 of them because I write them in coffee shops. We do see the double chrono boost on the forges. The 1-1-ups coming up. Looks like Stark is getting ready to do a drop. There it goes, there it goes. Medevac moving in. There is a vulnerable pile on the forges. The forges are in huge danger, and oh no, the Geek Squad! Oh no, the Geek Squad! Protoss moving out. Yakaru may have Yaka blew it by moving out at that time with the very fast warp-in. Has managed to push that back, but Yakaru, can he Yaka do it? Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! They pulled down at exactly the wrong time! There's the Guardian Shield. The Zealots streaming in. The 4 Immortals getting ready to do a lot of hurt. Force fields get planted, but was it too late? The Speed Zealot force seems to be getting obliterated. The food count for the Facebook Terran still quite high. The 4 Immortals on the front lines doing their massive work. This supply depot wall doesn't really seem to be helping so much anymore. It may very well cost Stark a huge amount of his supply, and the 4 Immortals doing so much damage, but once Stark gives him a hug, it's all the Geek Squad Protoss can do. I don't think that sentence actually finished. I just kind of not going to complete it. It looks like we see 2 more robotics facilities out on the field, more Immortals en route. Vikings ain't going to be helping too much. In fact, in that unit counting station, 6 Vikings on the field. This could be a nice chance for Yakaru to get a little bit of an edge, as those Vikings are not going to contribute to the battle too much. He needs to get those Immortals onto the field right now. He does now. Barely finish 1-1. There's the double force field. No Guardian Shield up. It looks like the target fire did begin on that Immortal, and there he finally finishes it off. Another Immortal getting ready to fire from the high ground, and amazingly enough, the medevacs with no energy whatsoever are unable to heal properly. Oh my gosh, Stark amazingly unable to break through. Yakaru from the Read It and Weep squad. I did it. Manages to successfully repel the attack. Deflection done and done. Meanwhile, back in Camp Stark, what's his unit count at? 8 Marauders, 11 Marines, and it looks like Yakaru, his eyes getting big, stepping back straight into the aggression mode again. I don't believe it. How is he able to do this? An incredible counter swing from the Geek Squad Protoss. And now it looks like Yakaru stepping in. Can he force field the ramp? Can he force field the ramp? He does not manage to force field the ramp, but he is rapidly ripping apart all of the probes from the enemy. There's a very nice snipe and a blink out, and an Immortal getting ready to do his own thing before he says, wait guys, wait for me. Okay, cool, okay, cool. Is he really going to be able to swing in for round 2? I don't believe it. Stark should have won this game. It was 162 food to 100, but Yakaru hung in there with the 1-1 upgrade. Does have the 7 gateways up. Stark trying to step in, but there's a lot of Blink Stalkers on the field right now. One more warp-in round, and Yakaru may be able to break the Facebook Terran's face. There's the command center warping into the 3rd. This will allow him to step into the game a little bit more. Taking the southern expansion, very worried about having a good defense at his front line, wants to be able to retreat properly. Stark trying to think about doing a drop, but it's the double Stargate that's really biting him now. There's the huge stim. Can he manage to get a force field at the ramp? I don't even think he needs to. The unit count from Yakaru is gigantic. The Immortals pummeling everything. Vikings going to be unable to do anything in this fight. And now all the SCVs pulling. Stark, hark. Not looking so good. More Blink Stalkers stepping into the action, and it looks like Stark will be unable to defend the front, and Yakaru gets a GG! The Facebook Terran taps out, types out, and we have ourselves a time match in the highlight for week number 4. Yakaru did it, tying the series up 1-1. Let's find out what happens in game number 3, because whatever team ends up winning there will bring the series to match point. I'm Day9, and you're watching the After Hours Gaming